It's a beautiful morning. It's always so nice and cool out just as the sun is rising. And a gorgeous time to hit the beach and look for some shells. Today I'll show you what we've got. It looks like a lot, but it's actually just a narrow band that's running along the high tide line of the beach. And you can tell it's the high tide line because of all the seaweed and stuff. That's called the rack. That's the farthest point that the tide came up. So just to give you a little close-up, there's not a lot I found that I took with me. As you can see, there's a lot of shells, but a lot of pieces and a lot of very common ones. So I'm going to show you what I actually picked up today. And I always carry 2 buckets. One is for trash. You see, we always get plenty of trash, and these are the handy dandy tongs I use to pick them up so I don't have to touch it. And it's an easy way when you're looking for shells. Bring 2 buckets, and that way you have one for trash and one for shells. So this is what I've got in my shell bucket, which is not a lot, as you can see. So we're just going to go through what I got. Just talk about it a little bit. So let's start here. That's a Florida spiny jewel box, and it's got the nice spine. It's a fairly small one. There's a nice one. This is called a lettered olive, and they're quite a nice, whoops, where'd it go? They're quite a nice find, so that was a good one. Now we have a couple of, they're called buttercup lucine. That's the back. And the reason you know it's a buttercup lucine is because of that buttery yellow color inside, which is very pretty, I think. And we have a couple of shells that people ask me about always on the tour. They're called, these are pieces of them. The whole shell is called a pen shell, a P-E-N, pen shell. But mostly what you find are these bits, and they've got that iridescence, which is just gorgeous. And you find a lot of pieces. The real shell, here I'll draw it for you, is about, looks about like that. It's about that big. So that's just a piece of it. It's quite a large shell, and it's kind of a triangle shape. Put those aside. Oh, what do we got here? Another little mini spiny jewel box. And we've got a couple of these guys, if I can find them. I thought I had a couple. Oh yeah, there we go. So these are sandy. These are called common jingles. They're orange. These 2 are orange, but they also come in white or yellow. I always pick up the orange ones just because I like the color. But they're very thin. See how you can see my finger through that? Whereas something like this buttercup lucine is very thick. You can barely see my finger. So these guys are quite thin and delicate. So you want to be careful because they break easily. Whereas that buttercup lucine could take a lot of abuse and not break. And then we have one of my favorites. I call them minis. Wow, that is sandy. Sorry about that. Get some of the sand off. That is a little, turned over on the back. It's called a turkey wing. But this is a little mini one. They grow about, probably about this big. So this little guy's a baby. Very, very cute. I like the minis. I collect them. And what do we got here? Here we got a couple of broken pieces that I just picked up for the heck of it. That's a piece of a shark eye. You can see just the eye part is left. These are bits of banded tulips, they're called. And you can see the bands. So that's where they get their name. And this is a little piece of a horse conch. Now, that's a little piece because a horse conch can grow 2 feet. Yes, I said 2 feet. So it's actually Florida's state shell and one of the largest mollusks in the world. But this is just a little baby piece. They're orange when they're juveniles. So that's our little mini shell adventure for the morning. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you can get to the beach soon for your own. This is Shell and Beach Walk signing out for now.